everyone, I'm Daisy, and welcome to Easy English with Daisy. Here on this channel, we'll improve your English together in the easiest and most natural way. Each video includes slow, clear conversations to help you understand everyday vocabulary and expressions. You can also practice shadowing with me to level up your pronunciation and speak English more confidently. Let's learn English the easy way and make it fun. See you in the lessons!
The morning in the Irvine suburbs began slowly. Soft sunlight filtered through the kitchen curtains, stretching across the light wooden floor in long, warm lines. Jonathan woke up first. He stepped out of the bedroom with unhurried movements, wearing a loose gray cotton t-shirt he had owned for years. He walked into the kitchen and turned on the coffee machine. The familiar humming and soft clicking sounds filled the space, gently breaking the silence without disturbing it. It was the kind of sound that made the house feel alive. Jonathan leaned against the kitchen counter, arms loosely crossed, and looked out the window. From there, he could see the front lawn still damp with morning dew, the quiet residential street, empty and calm. Everything was familiar, so familiar that he often stopped noticing it. That morning, though, he lingered longer than usual.
You're up early.
Jonathan turned around. Daisy stood at the kitchen doorway, wearing a light beige knit sweater and pale blue jeans. Her hair fell naturally over her shoulders.
I couldn't fall back asleep. Probably went to bed too early last night.
I was planning to sleep in, but the smell of coffee pulled me out of bed.
Jonathan slid the fresh cup toward her as the coffee finished brewing. They stood side by side, quietly sipping, not speaking for several seconds. It was a familiar silence, comfortable, unforced, the kind that didn't need words to feel complete.
It's the weekend. Do you have any plans?
Not really. Clean the garage, mow the lawn. The usual stuff.
Daisy nodded slightly, her gaze drifting toward the living room. The sofa near the large window sat empty, sunlight pooling across its cushions.
The house feels really quiet sometimes.
Jonathan followed her gaze. He knew what she meant, even though she hadn't said it directly. They had moved here almost 2 years ago. Stable jobs, friendly neighbors, a safe neighborhood. Everything looked ideal from the outside. But on mornings like this, when there was no rush, no schedule to follow, the quiet felt heavier.
Did you see the post I sent you last night?
Which one?
The Animal Rescue Center near Santa Ana. They shared photos of some dogs that were just brought in. A few of them looked really scared.
Jonathan didn't answer right away. He rubbed his chin, a habit he had whenever he needed time to think.
I know, but this time, I wasn't just scrolling.
What do you mean?
I think, maybe we should adopt a dog.
You're serious?
Yes. I really thought about it. It's not a random idea.
Jonathan exhaled slowly, not in disagreement, but in recognition of what the decision meant. He glanced around the kitchen, then the living room, then back at Daisy.
I'm not against it. I'm just worried. Work's been busy. You get home late some days.
I know, but we wouldn't do it carelessly. We can adjust things. Morning walks, coming home a bit earlier, weekends especially.
Jonathan stayed quiet again. He remembered coming home in the evenings, unlocking the door to a silent house, turning on the TV just to have some noise. He imagined opening the door to something or someone waiting.
I think it would be good for us. Not just saving a dog, but adding someone to our family.
Jonathan looked at her. There was no pressure in her eyes, only a gentle hope.
We can just go look. No decision today if you don't feel ready.
You always say, just go look.
I promise, this time it really is just looking.
Okay, let's go take a look.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe this!
Yeah. Looking doesn't hurt.
Daisy stepped closer and wrapped her arms around him briefly. Not long, just enough to show how much that answer meant to her.
Don't thank me yet. We're only visiting.
Daisy stood nearby, scrolling on her phone, checking the rescue center's address again.
Okay, that's the address. Irvine Animal Care Center. I can make it there in 20 minutes.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Jonathan didn't say anything else. He grabbed the car keys and waited by the door. Before stepping outside, he took one last look around the house. Quiet, tidy, and somehow waiting to be filled. The door closed behind them. Jonathan kept both hands on the steering wheel, eyes focused on the road ahead. Daisy sat in the passenger seat, scrolling through her phone, not reading anything in particular, just moving her thumb up and down the screen. The radio played softly, low enough to be background noise, rather than something they needed to pay attention to. As the car slowed near their destination, Daisy looked up and pointed ahead. Jonathan parked the car and turned off the engine. For a moment, neither of them moved.
Ready?
I think so.
As soon as they stepped out of the car, the sound reached them. Barking. Not loud or chaotic, but layered. Some high-pitched, some low and rough, overlapping in uneven rhythms. It carried a mix of excitement, anxiety, and something harder to name.
Yeah.
Hearing them like this is different from seeing photos.
Yeah, it really is.
The air smelled faintly of disinfectant and something else, clean, but unmistakably animal. The lobby was bright, with posters about adoption, volunteer schedules, and reminders to be patient with rescue animals. Behind a desk sat a woman typing on a computer.
Hi there. Are you here to adopt or just to look around?
We're just here to look for now. That's perfectly fine. Take your time. Let me know if you have any questions. The dog area is down there. Some of them might bark when you pass by. It's normal.
As they walked down the hallway, the barking grew louder. Rows of kennels lined both sides, each with a small card clipped to the door. Names, ages, brief notes. Daisy slowed her pace immediately. She stopped at the first kennel, crouching slightly to look inside. A medium-sized brown dog jumped up, tail wagging so hard it thumped against the metal gate.
Hi there.
He seems friendly.
They walked slowly, stopping every few steps. Some dogs barked loudly, pressing their noses against the bars. Others stayed back, watching cautiously. A few lay curled in the corners of their kennels, barely lifting their heads. Daisy's expression shifted with each one, smiling, softening, tightening slightly.
I didn't expect it to feel like this.
Like what?
Like, everyone's waiting. But in different ways.
Jonathan nodded. He felt it too. The sense that each kennel held a story they didn't know how to read. Halfway down the hallway, Daisy stopped again. This time, she didn't speak. Jonathan followed her gaze. In the corner kennel, away from the main walkway, lay a small dog with light brown fur and white markings on his chest. He wasn't barking. He wasn't pacing. He was lying on his side, head resting on the floor, eyes open.
That one's quiet.
He hasn't moved since we got here.
The card on the kennel read, Milo male, 2 years old. Found stray. Daisy read it out loud, quietly.
Hi, Milo. It's okay.
You okay?
I don't want to scare him.
After a few seconds, Milo shifted. He lifted his head just a little, enough to look at Daisy directly. His eyes were dark and cautious, but not empty. He didn't bark. He didn't retreat. He just looked.
Hey. It's okay. It's okay.
He's watching you.
She smiled faintly, like she didn't want to break the moment. A staff member walked by and noticed them lingering.
That you do but Milo. That's Milo. He's been here for a little while.
Is he shy?
Very. He doesn't do well with loud environments. But he's calm. Never aggressive.
Can we meet him?
Of course, Milo is very friendly.
Jonathan watched carefully as Milo shifted again, this time sitting up. He took one tentative step forward, then another. He stopped just short of the gate. Daisy extended her hand slightly, palm down, still not reaching. Milo sniffed the air. After a moment, he leaned forward and gently touched his nose to her fingers. Daisy inhaled sharply, but she didn't pull away.
You're good with him.
I didn't do anything.
Sometimes that's the point.
Daisy spoke softly to Milo, not asking for anything, just talking. Jonathan watched how Milo's body relaxed, little by little, his breathing slowing, his head resting more fully on the floor. Eventually, Milo stood and walked over to Jonathan. He sniffed Jonathan's shoe, then looked up. Jonathan held out his hand.
You're a good boy. Okay, that's unfair. That's unfair.
He's winning you over.
So, what are you thinking?
I think he needs us.
Yeah, I think so too.
Take your time. There's no rush.
Jonathan looked at Daisy. Daisy nodded without hesitation. They signed the papers slowly, carefully. When everything was done, the staff member handed Daisy the leash.
Congratulations! Milo's going home.
Milo didn't seem to understand the words, but he followed Daisy as she stood. As they walked back through the hallway, the barking sounded different now. Not distant, not overwhelming, just there. Outside, the afternoon sun had warmed the air. Jonathan opened the car door.
Ready, Milo? Ready for your first ride, Milo?
As Jonathan started the engine, Daisy looked back at the rescue center through the window.
I think... we should take him to the park first.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
The car pulled away, heading toward a quiet park, where Milo's first walk as part of a family would begin. The park was quieter than Jonathan expected. Tall trees lined the walking paths, their leaves shifting gently in the late afternoon breeze. The sunlight was softer now, warmer in color, casting long shadows across the grass. A few people were scattered around, someone jogging with headphones on, a couple sitting on a bench, a child riding a small bike near the playground. Jonathan parked the car near the entrance and turned off the engine. For a moment, Milo stayed still in the back seat. He looked around, ears slightly back, eyes moving from the open door to the unfamiliar surroundings beyond.
All right, Milo, let's get you out.
Milo hesitated, then placed one paw on the ground, then the other. He stepped out slowly, tail low, but not tucked. Daisy clipped the leash more securely and stood up straight.
I didn't realize how light he is.
He hasn't had much chance to relax yet.
They started walking along the paved path at an easy pace. Daisy held the leash loosely, giving Milo enough room to move without feeling pulled. Milo stopped almost immediately. He lowered his head and sniffed the ground carefully, as if cataloging every new smell. Grass, dirt, something sweet, something unfamiliar. He took a few steps, then stopped again. Daisy didn't rush him. She simply waited. Jonathan walked beside her, hands in his pockets.
He's taking it all in.
He's taken it all in.
I would too, if everything suddenly changed in one day.
Milo moved forward again, this time a little more confidently. His tail lifted slightly, not wagging yet, but no longer stiff. They walked in silence for a while, the sound of Milo's paws against the path, mixing with distant voices and rustling leaves. After a few minutes, Daisy slowed.
Let's sit for a bit.
They sat on a low wooden bench. Daisy kept the leash wrapped loosely around her wrist. Milo stood between them at first, unsure, then slowly lay down near Daisy's feet.
He stayed.
I think he feels safer when we don't move too much.
Honestly, I didn't expect today to go like this.
In a good way or a scary way?
Both.
I feel that too.
A jogger passed by with a dog on a leash. Milo lifted his head, watching closely but not barking. His body tensed slightly, then relaxed when the other dog moved on. Daisy noticed and gently rested her hand on Milo's back.
You're doing really well.
Milo didn't pull away. Jonathan noticed Daisy's hand pause, as if she was afraid to assume too much, then slowly stroke Milo's fur once.
Looks like he's okay with that.
I don't want to rush him.
They sat there longer than they realized. The sunlight shifted, dipping lower through the trees. The park grew quieter as some people left. Eventually, Milo stood up again and nudged Daisy's knee lightly with his nose. Daisy laughed softly.
Is that a request?
I think he wants to keep walking.
They continued down the path, Milo now walking slightly ahead, sniffing with more curiosity than caution. His tail moved, just a little, but enough to notice.
Jonathan, look! I think that's his first one.
Jonathan felt something settle in his chest, a quiet certainty. They reached a small open area where the grass spread wider. Daisy stopped and looked at Jonathan.
Do you think we should let him off the leash?
Maybe not today.
I agree. One new thing at a time.
They turned back toward the car as the sky began to shift into soft shades of orange and blue. Milo walked beside them now, 6 closer than before. When they reached the parking lot, Jonathan opened the back door again. Milo hesitated for only a second before jumping in.
That was faster.
On the drive home, Milo curled up on the seat, eyes half closed. Daisy reached back occasionally, her fingers brushing his fur. They pulled into the driveway just as the sun dipped below the rooftops. Jonathan turned off the engine and sat for a moment. Milo paused in the living room, looking around, then walked toward the couch and lay down on the rug beside it. Daisy watched him, eyes soft.